You're losing money right now. Literally, while you're watching this video, people are buying specific Silverados that will double in price over the next 12 months. And the worst part? You probably drove past one of these on the street today and didn't even realize you were looking at a gold mine on wheels. Stay until the end, because I'm going to reveal a specific year that's being secretly bought by collectors, and most owners don't even realize the treasure they have sitting in their garage. Look, I spent the last 3 months digging through auctions, talking to dealers, stalking collector groups on Facebook, and there's a scary pattern happening. Certain Silverados that cost $8,000 in January 2025 are already being sold for 15 grand. And this is just the beginning. My buddy who owns a dealership in Dallas called me last week desperate. He had one of these Silverados I'm going to show you here, listed it for 12 grand, thinking it would take a while to sell. Got 23 calls the same day. Sold it for $14,500 in cash. The guy who bought it already turned down an offer of $17,000. So if you have an old Silverado sitting around, or you're thinking about buying one, pay close attention, because what I'm about to show you could change your bank account. Year number 1, Silverado 2003-2004, the last of the Mohicans. This one's a money time bomb, and I'm going to explain exactly why. 2003 and 2004 were the last years of the GM 800 generation. After that, GM changed everything. Different design, different interior, even the sound of the door closing was different. And you know what happens when something is the last of something? It becomes a relic. But there's a secret that few people know. These Silverados were the most reliable GM ever produced. Why? Because by 2003, GM had already had 4 years to fix all the generation's problems. It was literally the perfect version, tested, approved, zero manufacturing defects. And here's the good part. While everyone's buying 2000s F-150s, the 2003-2004 Silverados are still cheap, between $8,000 and $13,000. But I saw with my own eyes a 2004 Z71 extended cab sell for $18,500 last week. The guy who sold it almost cried when he found out he could have asked for 22 grand. There's a detail that doubles the value. If it's 4x4 with short bed, that combination is disappearing from the market, literally. I went on Auto Trader last week, put in the filters, Silverado 2003-2004, 4x4, short bed. Know how many came up in the entire country? 47. Last year, there were over 300. If you see one of these for sale and you've got money saved up, buy it. Don't think. In 2026, you'll thank me.
But wait, this next one is even crazier. And I'm going to tell you a real story that happened last month that's going to make you angry. You didn't buy one before. Year number 2, Silverado SS, 2003-2006, the one nobody took seriously. This one was the biggest mistake by people who know cars. When GM launched the Silverado SS, everyone laughed. A sports truck? How stupid. Yeah, those same guys are now paying fortunes to buy them back. Let me give you a real example. A guy in Oregon bought a 2005 SS in 2020 for $12,000. Everyone made fun of him. You overpaid for an old truck, idiot. Last month, he sold it. Guess for how much? $31,000. $31,000. In 5 years, the truck doubled and then some. And you know why this is happening? Because they made few of them. GM produced less than 25,000 units over all those years. To give you an idea, that's less than Corvettes from the same period. Now do the math. How many survived? How many weren't wrecked, slammed, or destroyed by some kid who wanted drag races? The ones that survived intact are rare as hen's teeth, and collectors pay any price for rarity. There's another detail. The SS came with the 6.0 engine, which is practically indestructible. So it's not just collectible, it's usable. You don't need to keep it in the garage afraid it'll break. Drive it every day and it still appreciates. Saw one last week being sold for 24 grand with 120,000 miles. Sounds expensive? The owner already turned down an offer of 28,000. He knows what he has. And in 2026, bet with me that same truck will be worth 45 grand easy.
Now pay attention to this next one because it's literally disappearing. People are buying them in secret to resell next year. Year number 3, Silverado, heavy duty, 2001-2002, the forgotten beast. This one's for people who are really smart. Everyone's looking at 1500s, but the real investors are buying the 2500 HD and 3500s from these years, and I'm going to tell you why. 2001 was the first year of the redesigned heavy duty. GM threw everything on the table: reinforced chassis, giant axles, suspension that handles anything. And they did this at a perfect moment in history before emissions complicated everything. These HD Silverados have a reputation in the heavy-duty work world that's insane. Farmers, construction business owners, people towing heavy trailers, everybody wants these. Why? Because they simply don't break. I met a guy who has a moving company in the Midwest. He has 5 Silverado 2500 HDs, all between 2001 and 2002. The one with the least mileage has 420,000 miles. And you know what he told me? I've turned down 4 offers to sell. There's no amount of money that pays for the reliability of these trucks. And here's the kicker. While everyone wants a new truck, business owners are going back to buying these old ones. Why? Because a new truck costs $70,000 and breaks at 100,000 miles. These cost 15 to 20 grand and run 500,000 miles without complaining. There's an inversion happening in the market. Trucks stopped being just tools. They became investments, and the smart guys already noticed this. I saw a fleet auction last month. A 2002 3500 with 280,000 miles was sold for $23,000. 2 years ago, that same truck would have gone for 8 grand. See the movement? And there's more. These 2001-2002 HDs are becoming legendary in overlanding and extreme off-road communities. People are paying absurd amounts for well-maintained examples because they know they can modify them, abuse them, and the truck simply takes it.
But you know what's sad? This next one, many people sold for nothing. And now they're seeing it worth a fortune. If you had one and sold it, I'm sorry, this is gonna hurt to hear.
Year number 4, Silverado 1999-2000, the despised pioneer. This one breaks the hearts of so many people I know. The 1999-2000 Silverado was despised for years. It's the first generation, has problems, better get a newer one. Lie. Criminal lie. These Silverados were the first of the new era. And you know what happens with the first of something? Eventually they become icons. Think about it. First iPhone, first Mustang, first Air Jordan. Years later, worth rivers of money. And there's a movement happening now that's changing everything. Nostalgia. People who were 20 in 2000 are now 45, making good money, and want to relive their youth. Guess which truck they want? Exactly, the one they dreamed of having when they were 20. I met an engineer in Austin who sold his 2000 Silverado in 2018 for $4,500. Thought he made a great deal. Last month, he saw the same truck for sale. Recognized it by the vanity plate. Know how much it was listed for? $16,800. He told me he still regrets it to this day. And look at the cruel detail. These 1999-2000 were the last before they changed some parts to cheaper versions. So ironically, the first generation is more durable than the ones that came right after. And you know what the gold combination is? Extended cab, V8, 4x4, solid paint, white, black, or red. This configuration is being bought for absurd values. Saw a pristine white 2000 sell for $19,500 last week. The guy who bought it already has an offer of 24 grand and refused.
And now, the cherry on top. This last one is the one that's going to explode in 2026, and I'm going to give you a reason so specific you're going to run to Craigslist when this video ends. Year number 5 is the Silverado 2500 HD 2007, the perfect one. This is the cherry, the holy grail, the one collectors and investors are buying in secret. Why? Perfect timing. 2007 was the last year before emissions got heavy. Engines still free without all the systems that complicate maintenance, but it already had all the comfort and safety upgrades that the older ones didn't have. It's literally the best of both worlds, old reliability plus modern comfort. And there's the visual factor. 2007 already had the more aggressive design, chrome bumper, imposing grille, looks like a modern truck, but it's old in reliability. Now the secret, diesel version with manual transmission. This combination was made for only 1 year, 2007. After that, GM removed the manual option for diesels. Know what that means? Extreme rarity. How many exist? Estimate less than 3,000 in the entire country. Of those, how many are still original and running? Maybe 500? Saw one being sold for 32 grand last month. Thought it was expensive. 2 days later, the ad disappeared. Sold. And I already found out the new owner turned out an offer of $38,000 from a Texas collector. If you find a 2007 HD diesel manual for sale, sell the house, take out a loan, do whatever it takes, because in 2026, that truck will be worth easily $60,000 to $70,000. And in 10 years, 100 grand wouldn't be a surprise at all.
Look, I just handed you a list of how to turn $10,000, $15,000 into 30, 40 grand in just 12 months. This isn't theory. It's happening now as we speak. So here's my advice. If you have one of these Silverados, don't sell. Hold on for 1 more year. If you're thinking about buying one, run. Literally, because the investors already noticed the pattern. And let me ask you a question. Which of these have you seen for sale recently? Or better yet, do you have one of these and didn't know you were sitting on a gold mine? Comment down below. I want to know. And if this video just made you realize you're losing money or saved you from selling your Silverado for nothing, hit that like button because I need to know if content like this is worth it. Next week, I'm going to show you the 5 Silverados you should avoid at all costs. There's a specific one that loses half its value in 2 years, and it's not the one you're thinking. See you then, and go after these Silverados before it's too late.